Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown Travels.
And Lori!
In this video, we're going to talk about a new movement, Lori. It's called FIRE.
Wow, what is a fire?
FIRE is a movement that's going on with the younger generation. They are looking at priorities in life, and they're seeing that they don't want to accumulate material things like Mercedes-Benzes and iPhones and all this fancy stuff.
Wow.
They want to put that money away for early retirement, so they are able to retire early and then choose maybe occupations that they would like to do rather than, let's say, working in a bank or working as a computer programmer. Maybe they want to write a book or something like that. So that's what this video is about. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this video. Now remember, this is not for, somebody at our age that is retired and yet is living off their Social Security. It's more for the younger people. So let us know what you think. Well, if you hear some booms going off in the background, what it is? What is it, Lori?
It's a rocket.
Rockets. We're in Mexico, and they are having celebrations this time of year, and so you'll hear these bangs and rockets going off. So don't freak out. That's all it is.
Hi, my name's Andrew Hallam, and you're watching Jerry Brown's Travels. Now, Jerry is usually the host. This is Jerry and Lori Brown here. They're usually on the other side where they're asking other people questions. Today, I decided that I would ask them some questions. I'm a financial author and financial journalist, but I'm very curious about their journey. They're always talking about how people can live frugally or live well in low-cost countries such as Mexico. But I want to ask them about their particular journey because I know that they have something that they could share and I think would be very beneficial to many of the people viewing today.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew.
In one of the best books, one of the books that I recommend everybody pick up. If you haven't read The Millionaire Next Door, written by a guy named Thomas Stem, Millionaire Next Door. And it talks about the habits of wealthy people. And wealthy people tend to follow consistent sets of traits. They have consistent traits or consistent habits. Yeah. And you two actually epitomize many of those habits. And you mentioned earlier that you track the money that you were spending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we logged everything down, so down to the penny. If I get a cup of coffee, it goes on the log sheet. If I drop a penny and I can't find it, it goes on the log sheet.
Really?
Yeah, because I want to know what we spend.
That's impressive.
Because then I can regulate how much because we don't want to take out too much money, out of our portfolio, because then we're going to run into trouble. So I want to keep it within that 4% rule, that money is going to last us, for 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 more years. Just joking. Hopefully 30, 40 years. But another thing, though, you mentioned The Millionaire Next Door. I read that book. What I ended up doing is I looked at millionaires and I says, what is the pattern that millionaires do? And one of the patterns is they don't buy new cars. They buy a car that's maybe 3 years old. And so the other thing, and I thought, well, I want to be a millionaire. I mean, as a kid, I wanted to be a millionaire.
Right.
But if I couldn't be a millionaire, why couldn't I act like a millionaire? Which means, and this is where the people really get mixed up. They go out and they spend. They go to fancy restaurants and they can't afford it. Now, when the credit card bill comes up, they're stressed out. They're not living like millionaires.
Right.
They think they are, but they're not.
Paradox there.
Yeah, a millionaire can afford what they go. So what we would do, we took up golf. We would go to a municipal golf course. It cost us $5 a round of golf, 9 holes, like that. We're 5 miles away in Hawaii at the Turtle Bay Resort. It was $40. Millionaire at resort, so I'm mimicking what a millionaire does.
Right.
Within the budget. Millionaires, they once a week, let's say, they take their wife out and they go to a nice restaurant. So did we, but we didn't go to a 5-star restaurant. We got dressed up, like, so we would look nice for each other, like a date. So we did things that were mimicking a millionaire, but within our budget. And it really works because you're getting a benefit in your mind that you're achieving your goal, and eventually this feeling is that I am a millionaire because I'm doing the right things as a millionaire does. Can't I at you know what I mean at $500 a week income mimic those type of lifestyles? And that was the other thing too. Before we could take a little more elaborate trips, say what I just explained, going to Italy and France, we would take little mini trips. We go from Oahu, we go over to Maui, and we'd stay 2 days. And we got discounts there, And so I was saying, yeah, we're doing the same thing the millionaires are doing, but we're doing it within our budget. So that really encouraged us to keep going.
I always want to go to Turtle Bay in Hawaii, that the hotel. I always want to walk around that ground, but because I was so poor, I just feel so shy to walk around in that area because I know that's all the millionaires, they go there. But when I get to Jerry, so we save enough money, we keep saving. We don't eat at the expensive restaurant. We go to the food court or we go to a buffet. That's how much we can, afford. But we dress nice and we act like we are millionaire. And I was so proud of myself. I said, whoo, I can come to this restaurant. I can walk around this hotel. And then it was so nice in Hawaii, and they just call you ma'am and sir, when you walk around like that. So it was very nice. And then I remember one time he took me to Roy, Hawaii. That time we work so hard, so we go on the weekend. And I get because we was called a Kama'aina live in Hawaii. So every restaurant, every hotel we get in, so we can say we are Kama'aina, we get 10% off. So that I save 10% from that.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing too, we packed our lunches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We packed our lunches like that. We ate at home our dinners. We didn't eat once in a while on a weekend. Then we go out, like you say, explore. Like that.
We go on a weekend, so we pack our lunch. But we walk around the golf course. They pay $60, we pay $25. If they pay $25, we pay $5 to play golf. Yeah, we can play golf too.
Another thing that we did there is the rich, they have motorhomes, right? They have luxury motorhomes and yachts. So we had a little van with a bed in it and a little wardrobe. Well, we would head down to the beach for the weekend and we'd sleep in there. Bring all of our own food in there. So it was a stretch of of it, but in my mind I kept saying these are the things that the millionaires do. In other words, they live within their means, and I've found the happiest I've ever been, is when I've always lived within my means. That I don't owe anybody any money. I've never paid money for loans on the sense of interest.
Yeah, with the exception of a mortgage.
A mortgage and cars,
right?
Like that. But usually we try to pay cash for our cars.
Right.
But in other words, I paid those bills off every 28 days. So I never paid any interest on a credit card. Not at all. I only used them to get air miles and get gifts and stuff like that. So what else, Lori? What other little things do you remember?
Well, a little thing I remember, if somebody come borrow my money, I take 25%, but not a year, a month.
Whoa!
Lori loaned out money to friends.
Loan shark. I can see who the real star is here. It's 25% a month on the money that she's loaning out.
Yeah.
Wow.
So why not? Maybe you really need it because remember you go to the pawn shop, right? They take almost 45%.
So why not you be the pawn shop, right? That's basically it, right? You give them a discount.
I can be the pawn shop, but I be discount. I only take 25%. So why not?
Also, I mentioned that we went to traveled some places like that. When we traveled too, one year we went to Bali, right? And so when we came back, Lori had 2 suitcases packed with all these shaws and very small, in a very small space. We were able to take them back to Hawaii. Excuse me. She sold them to our friends. It paid for our airfares to Bali. You know? We did that in the Philippines. We brought back stuff that were in demand, and so we were able to pay for our flights and stuff like that. So we did some little things like that when we traveled.
Some little fun thing,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
So
Why not?
always looking to see how. But we're entrepreneurs, so we're being creative in that respect here. So, and the other thing I want to say is people think that we're making huge amount of money on our YouTube channel, and I want you to know,
No, we're not.
we're not. All those,
But we just enjoy making and we just have fun.
yeah, all those advertisements that you see on there, YouTube is making all the money. We're not, and so I wish we were making the money that they're making, but we're not. But well, anything else, Lori?
That's it. So that's it I want to
Well,
say.
that's my little talk about our life as being in fire and on fire, and we're still on fire. And in fact, you know this saying they say, there may be snow on the roof, but there's still fire in the fireplace.
I like it, Jerry. I like it. Nice work.
Thanks, Andrew.
Nice work, Jerry.
Thank you.
That was different. That was
Okay.
different. That was part 2. And
Yeah, what do you think about it?
what did you think about it? Make a comment and let us know what you think. Now, don't forget, go to part 1 and see that one if you haven't seen it yet. And we're going to give you further information on how we live the FIRE movement and our lifestyle and stuff like that. Take a look at it if you want to. If not, move on to another video. So, hey, thanks very much.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you. Bye.